Today I'm explaining what post-incarceration syndrome PICS actually is. Not therapy, not diagnosis, not excuses, just clear, accurate information. So post-incarceration syndrome PICS, it describes the psychological, emotional, behavior, and the social impact of incarceration that continues after a person is released. PICS is not a diagnosis, it is not a disorder, it is not a weakness, and it is not a personal failure. PICS is an educational framework. It gives language to what incarceration leaves behind after release. In plain language, PICS is what happens when someone learns how to survive prison and is expected to live in the free world without being taught how to transition out of survival mode. You can be legally free and still operating from adaptations that were necessary inside. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you adapted. PICS exists because incarceration requires change in order to survive. And over time, people often learn to stay constantly alert, suppress emotions, avoid vulnerability, maintain control, and limit trust. And these behaviors are not character flaws. They are survival skills. They work inside. The problem is that release does not come with education, decompression, or context. So those same adaptations follow people home. And that's where PICS shows up. PICS does not look the same for everyone, but after release, it may show up as feeling overwhelmed by freedom or choices, difficulty adjusting to everyday expectation, emotional shutdown or emotional overload, irritability or sudden reactions, difficulty trusting people or system, feeling disconnected from yourself or society. And without language, people often think, what's wrong with me? Why aren't they the same? Why does this keep happening? So PICS explains that these are survival-based adaptations in a new environment. PICS doesn't only affect the individual's families feel it too. Families may experience emotional distance, confusion about how to help, tension around routines or control, feeling shut out or blame. PICS education helps families to understand this is not lack of love. This is not about effort. It's about survival habits entering family life without guidance. PICS education also matters for systems. The reentry programs, parole, probation, workforce development, and community services, PICS-related behaviors are also often labeled as resistance, noncompliance, lack of motivation, poor attitude. Without context, people are punished for adaptations that once kept them alive. And with understanding, outcomes improve. So understanding PICS, it's not soft. It is strategic. It is strategic. Now, let me be clear about what it's not. PICS is not an excuse for harmful behavior, a reason to avoid accountability, a justification for abuse, a permanent condition. Understanding PICS does not remove responsibility. It provides context so responsibility can be taken without shame. And why naming PICS matter. When people don't have language, they internalize the struggle. They blame themselves. They blame each other. Systems blame individuals. And naming PICS, it shifts the question from what's wrong with me to what happened and what do I need now. You cannot heal or support what you do not understand. If this video gave language to something that you've been experiencing or witnessed, download the free educational guides linked in the post. Read the books and resources I've shared. Share the video with someone who needs understanding, not blame. They survived something most people will never understand. And that survival came at a cost, not because they're weak, but because they're human. PICS is not the end of the story. It's where understanding begins. This content is for educational purposes only. It does not diagnose, treat, or replace.